Welcome to the Day Trader and Swing Trader Setups watch list, where we look at stocks that broke out on our intraday alerts at the premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. Intraday alerts create great day trading opportunities as well as carry forward for future days tradings on these breakout stocks. What we do is we review the live alerts that came out intraday on our website for our premium alert subscription holders. We'll keep up with 475 stocks there, and for the breakouts and the breakdowns, they're time stamped with the price, time of the alert, and the time of the post. And also sometimes, like UPS shown here, actually has been on the bull zone for about $7 from several days ago, and this morning it gapped down, and so when it came through the current bull zone breakout, it gave another great alert for an intraday trade setup. So we're reviewing those alerts from our watch list of 475 stocks, as well as scanning for 5,000 through 5,000 stocks at the end of the day for other alerts similar that came out on different stocks off of our watch list. By subscribing to our service, you're available to see these alerts as they come out early in the mornings or throughout the day. That gives you time to come in and review, see which stocks you might be interested in setting up a swing trade on. We even have these on a weekly alert, and weeklies are really for the long-term swing traders a better setup on a weekly alert, and for multi-day trade swing traders, these daily breakouts. You also have time to go select some options if you're an option trader before the close of business, since the video comes out after hours. Now we're going to take a quick look at the watch list for the stocks that triggered today, then a quick 3-minute tutorial on support and resistance levels that are on our charts for the new viewers, and then we'll get right into the complete list, and we will go through chart by chart and give you a 10-second view of each chart so you can see what might or might not be at support and resistance levels on these alerts. Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel while you're here. A quick look at these watch lists, and we'll get rolling here. We got the bear breaks on the weekly. We got 3 stocks so far. Did add a column today for earnings, so when we see a big pop, we can tell if today was the earnings. When they're in the future, I'm not sure how accurate TC2000 is on these. I found some errors in the past. Maybe they got better than it used to be. Mainly, I want to know if it was today. Like on PBYI, it wasn't today, and it had this huge move, which is a couple of day move since the alert bears on target price way back up here on a weekly. Stock's down $19, but that was mostly a gap down. Let you get a look at these items on the list here, where you can pause the video, see the symbols, see the trigger price, and see where they stand right now. Price profit compared to the trigger price. Of course, General Dynamics, here's one. This is why I added this. Your earnings was today, and it's down. It's up $11.88. So in this case, we triggered here. The stock actually opened way down today. This wiki, and we're on a weekly chart here. This thing gapped down and had a $19 day. There's your 15-minute intraday chart. What an opportunity that presented. My goodness, what a move. That's 15-minute chart. Your bear breaks for the day. and your bull breaks for today. A lot of volatility in the market as well. Another stock, this stock's up $42 earnings today. That's why I put this on here, so we can make a reference to it and I wouldn't have to be guessing. We'll get on to the 3-minute tutorial and then we'll run down these charts. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support, and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean. You'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50-period moving average. This orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here, and the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started. First one's HIMX. Continued down today. We had this on the bear break on the daily watch 3 days ago at 977. Back up here. That's when we brought this in on the bear zone watch. $1.50 on a $9 stock. LITE crossed a few days ago, still in here. Continues to lose ground. PBY we looked at a second ago. This was a gap down. You can't see that on a weekly chart. that was the level, but the gap puts you way down here below support on the daily chart here. Of course, there's more places to go down here. So that's a quick look at the weekly bears, weekly bulls, AGIO. I actually had a down day today. Still holding above the bull zone level here. And remember, you really want to swing trade off of weekly charts. But sometimes the dailies can give you a bull zone break on something that's maybe way oversold on the weekly to get you started. They can also be the start of a big breakout that's yet to come. Kara, this was on the bull zone break on the daily, right in the 1320 area. We had this 2 nights ago, and monster day today. This is your daily. It's our bull break right here. So 2 nights ago, had this on the video, and there's your monster move. Come behind it. Can't expect that at all times, but that's how you know to be looking. Get back on the weekly. CCL. I think they might have had, no, didn't have earnings. They were in the news today. I saw something about them. Probably just performing well. Really breaking out here a couple of weeks ago. And gained a little more momentum back this week. We first alerted this on this particular week back here at a lower level than we're alerting now. The level at that time was right here at 68.63 when we first alerted this 2 weeks ago. Nice breakout here on the coming into the weekly now. This stock is on your daily bull zone break. Right here, 3 days ago when it first come up through this old high. It's a pretty nice little $4 move in 2 days. General Dynamics, we looked at this a few minutes ago. This definitely earnings move. Hog, 200 week right here. That's what the big orange line is. It's been on here for a few days. Actually had a decent day today. It showed up a few days ago on a gap up on the weekly breakout. On this gap up day that sold down inside day. There you go. Nice rip off the inside day. Inside day, stocks apt to do anything on the following day. Don't forget, as we go down the list, these are highlighted. This was the value that triggered the break or the bull zone alert. This stock, of course, has been running since back before the January 1st. Again, as a reminder, on the dailies, this would be a good example. This broke out on the daily right here 2 days ago. Gapped down the next morning and had a huge day the next day, and then had a real volatile day today, but a whole lot of stuff had a real volatile day today. It was a day trading dream. You are at the 50 week. You also bounced off the 200 day. That's where it resisted that first day, ripped through it yesterday, came back, tested it today, and bounced off of that. This This is in a uptrend on the daily bull zone for 3 days, and it's hit the weekly during a week here at 55.59. This one we looked at yesterday. Stock's been on a bull zone list for 3 days. Now it's come into the weekly. Don't know much about this one. This stock's been here every day on the list. Guess that's a buyout. It ain't moved in 3 days. And BRX, which has been on here for a couple of days on this weekly bull zone. And of course this stock broke out a long time ago. On to the daily. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter or StockTwits at Daytrader Setups. And our website is daytradersetups.com and swingtradersetups.com. Don't forget, this video is being brought to you by our premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. They're real-time alerts. They're posted on our website, and we're looking at our bull zone weekly and daily breakouts, and our bear zone weekly and daily breakouts that are in one category on the website. And there are other categories that are more aggressive for the more active trader as well. And by having a subscription to that service, you get all these alerts intraday as they happen, and one subscription gets you access to everything, as well as our chart system. If you would like to get it, I can set you up a couple of different ways to have the green and pink lines available for your charts as you review. Let's go forward. ALK gap down today, and again on the daily chart, we took it through the bear zone. We actually alerted this way back here coming into the bear zone, so it just recalculated bear zone entry, just a continuation play. So that's not really a swing trade alert. That's what I was trying to show you earlier. When you see the video and we show the chart, and you can see this is what we're looking for. This is bear zone. This is just an indicator that says true. This indicator says true. True on the bull zone. True on the bull zone. If we show you a chart that says bear zone break, and you glance at the bottom and you can see this red line was up multiple days ago, don't chase the stock. This was the break right here. This is nothing but continuation as this recalculated itself, gave a bounce, and then crossed back through the newly calculated value. First day pullback here on HFC, and when you do subscribe to our subscriptions, this would be a benefit to having these lines on your charts. On a weekly, you can see this stock's been fighting resistance here, and then this week on Monday probably it opened up and it tested this high and gave way. So it was already setting up. This was Monday's candle here. They couldn't get back through that resistance area and it gave way today. This triggered out at 50.57. So if you were watching this stock and watching our alerts and you already felt like it was about to break down, that could have been your trigger to get short, and you'd be making a $1.24 share by now based on the entry alert price that came out on our website. You know, if you're just a 200 share trader and you can take one trade a month 35 cents earlier than you might have taken it, that $70 profit pays for a whole month subscription to get these live on our website. I have no idea what this is. I'm not getting a chart. might have just lost data from TC2000. Looks like. Let me just pause the video. We'll get back to it when they get the data back. Okay, we got some data back. Bear zone here, and coming into the daily bear zone as well today. Coming off the top on the weekly up here as well. And if you were going to swing trade this, you need to draw you a trend line, and that's going to be the key to this going further down. Always refer to your weeklies if you're trying to get on a really long-term trade. Pretty volatile looking stock there. I don't know anything about that. MNK, this has been a long story that just keeps getting worse, I guess. This is not a swing trade. Not really coming out of a base, so I don't really. That's another thing on your bull zones. You want to be looking, or your bears, you want to be looking like right here. You had a nice base, then we had a bull zone alert here, and you had a nice breakout. You're not in a base, so when you look through the videos, you really want to find the stocks that's been basing, whether it be weekly or monthly, and then you want to get a breakout of that base, and that can indicate you a lot bigger move. The value required to make this show up on my bear zone was met today, but the situation and the look of the chart really is not what you're looking for. Now, if you step over on a weekly, you're in a big consolidation. So that's why you compare back and forth weekly and daily. So in the weekly, you're in a consolidation. If you draw a trend line here, from here to here, you broke the trend line. And that's why you swing trade longer term trades off the weekly. So there's your breakdown point right there around 32.67. Which was basically yesterday or this morning. So that part of the bull zone on the daily is bringing your attention. But you really, if you just see this and you don't see what we just saw on the weekly, then it wouldn't be a setup. But looking at the weekly makes this look like a better something to pay attention to. PBF been holding the 50-day for a few days, broke down today. This could get a lot more downside here. Just my next level, the way I work my targets. Here's target 1, here's target 2. So this could definitely be headed down lower. And you also look at your weekly, you're on a third week down. If you trend lined all this stuff, you broke that trend line. And if you trend line across here, you broke this trend line. A little bit. It's actually sitting there. So this is your key right here for this going lower, is breaking this trend line. And do that almost any time you're trying to take a trade that's going to be for more than a day. Draw you some trend lines and figure out what's got to happen. You can do that like on the top side up here as well if you were looking at long. I'm going to put an alert on this while I got it on here. Great thing about TC2000, you can draw that trend line. You can say, okay, I want to alert this for a week. Set your alert. Delete the trend line. You don't have to leave it on your chart. Still will alert the trend line there or not. We looked at this earlier on this gap down. Came in on the weekly. SAVE, gap down. All the airlines played off another one's earnings and some news on United Airlines, I believe. That whole sector was down. The whole transport sector was down big today. It was mostly driven by the airlines. This is your first day into this bear zone, and looking at a weekly chart, This is run my cycle. Here was support for weeks, sitting on my lines. You break out, target 1, target 2, pull back. A lot of times, if the uptrend is going to continue, this pullback will send it on higher. This is not support and resistance by any means, and the news is probably going to supersede a pullback and go higher, I would think. So you wouldn't want to rush into a bounce play at all on this. Our other alert service that gets into a lot more detail for more active traders, I'll probably pick this reverse up when it comes way before these bull and bear zones will. Got to move on to the bulls. Got about 20 stocks on here. Had a gap up today, put this into the bull zone on AEM. That's probably come off the volatility of the market. CBI, nice breakout this morning. Got earnings coming up in a month from now, so nothing in the way there for messing up a good trade. Nice breakout here. This also broke up through the 50 week this week, and is on the weekly bull zone break. I don't remember seeing that. Might have been last week. Evidently it came up last week because it's not on there this week. Oh, I know what it is. I require that this strength be shown in my bull zone break, especially on the dailies, and that's why that didn't show up. I'll modify that, because on the weekly I don't mind it being there without the strength. The strength can come later. On the dailies I want that to be there, and you can see on this weekly it was there when he came down. I'm gonna modify that though, so we could pick this up back here a little bit earlier, only on the weeklies. I'm not going to modify that. I just did. It brought in about 80 more stocks. So we don't want to do that. CCL broke out today. We talked about this earlier, about it being on the news. CP, amazingly, a railroad that was trying to come back up here today. It's just showed up a few days ago, had these bad days here, got caught up, I think, in KSU's earnings or something, and pulled it back. A couple of railroads had pretty good days yesterday, so this one came back up today pretty good. This could be worth watching. It's kind of, I like the way it's looking on the chart here, and I like where it came back and held this support line. Cyber, now this is something that could definitely make a move. It's been known to move in the past, of course, and it's just breaking out on the daily. First day in the line here. It's at the 50 day. It's got to get through there. If you drew a trend line down through here, you've cleared that trend line. We'll look at the weekly. Been kind of grinding up here. Last week went back down, retested my lower pivot, held that well. Kind of setting up pretty decent here. Now you got to draw your weekly trend line to see where it might be in the way as time progresses. And I'm not talking about the one across here. I'm talking about the one from here to here. You want to be aware what's going on as your trade progresses. You got to know where your resistance is going to be. Alert that as well while I'm on here. DGX, now it's been just constantly coming in on this alert. has a lot of these choppy days, so it just goes in and out. As it goes in and out, remember it's crossing higher bull zones as they were created. This was the first alert bull zone break way back here. It's about a $4 or $5 move since then. This is progressing pretty nicely on a weekly as well. And on a weekly, if you drew a trend line, it is well past that the last 2 weeks, up through the 50 week last week. General Dynamics, we talked about this earlier. Earnings, monster day. Weekly all-time highs. Goldman Sachs, a good day trader today. Got some really good opportunities in this pullback. Up $5 for the day, even as volatile as the market was, and even with the sell-off. So this stock is really just on fire. This is something we keep on the chart every day. Here's an earnings play, big gap up, right up into the old resistance area, and it's got more above this. Opened right below it, came back down, broke on out through there. Really nice run even after the bell on the stock today. Yeah, I'm sure it would have been super volatile to try to day trade unless you just picked it up on this dip and didn't move your stop and gave it a chance to go on. Not a stock I try to day trade. And here's your weekly, so you can take a look at that next resistance level. Already plotted on the chart. The old high there was 276.38, and that goes back a long time ago, way back here, 2013. You might not ever look back that far, but if you got these lines on your chart, you see it before it gets there. You don't have to worry about looking. Something made it be here. It didn't get there because it didn't make a high right there. HIG, a big gap this morning, right up through the bull zone, and a monster day, and was not off of earnings as far as I can tell. Another great example, you could have got this alert at the open this morning, right through that bull zone level. Really big mover. Not sure where it goes from now. It's breaking out of a weekly consolidation right here. It's not out the high of that weekly consolidation, but it's out of all this mess. Very nice move. We talked about hog already on the weekly. Big day on this stock. Again, another stock broke the bull zone down here at 21.67. That's up $1 from that alert. It is at the 200 day, and it is at the 50 week. So it may do a little pullback before it goes any further. I'm not sure what drove this. Again, it's in that same in the media sector here, so I'm not sure what that is. Worth watching though. Big nice breakout. They can follow up with another nice day right behind them. That's $1.07 up above the alert level live. PNC, this is just a continuation. This broke out way back here. RCL had a good day, is like a CCL. It did run into old highs and pull back today. That don't mean it don't go through there tomorrow. This is trying to set up with some strength on the weekly as well. So this stock may get itself in play. Little doji day on Red Hat here. That might have been caused by market volatility. I'm not wild about the setup. Nothing to do with the stock. Six Flags. This is just a long continuation. It is kind of getting out some new highs here, and it could be making its next breakout. And I believe if this date is correct, still about 30 days to the earnings. another financial stock. This is just a continuation. This broke back here. This is gapping up, selling off almost every day. Earnings today, if this is correct, I don't know if it's after hours or before before the bell, up 224. After the bell, the stock's up 16 bucks after the bell. Closed today at 113, sitting on 126 right now. So it just ran up into the bell. This is over at StockTwits. I don't know if y'all seen this lately. They did a big improvement, and I really like the way they got this set up. I just pull this up. You can highlight over your stock, and it gives you your information there. You can sort alphabetically, is what I just did then. You can sort before and after the bell up at the top of the columns. It's got a nice calendar. You can look at what's coming up next couple of days. You can, and it's giving you the level of stock today. And in this case, a VAR is giving the level of stock after hours. And you can also go back to stocks from yesterday and get you a quick look and see how they were performing today. This is your Texas Instruments that had run up so big, sold off big time today, down $10. Had earnings yesterday after the bell, and a big sell-off. Kimberly-Clark was up $1.87, had earnings yesterday morning before the bell, and then continued up today. Nice little tool here, StockTwits. I want to look at that Kimberly-Clark chart real quick. So had earnings yesterday, ran down, came back up nicely. This would have been yesterday right here, did all that pretty early, pretty choppy. And then today, you can use our lines on our charts, old support and resistance. This stock today opened, ran up real fast like they do, slammed back down. That's why you don't day trade early. And came right back down and held the support line, opened on the support, tested it, and then right back up. Really nice setup there. And that would be coming off our earnings play. And where we left off was at Six Flags. VAR. We were looking up the earnings there. So now this stock is $126 a share. Did come up on the bullzone alert today, but what I teach or suggest is you don't buy into earnings. So you wouldn't want to went long this pre-market and made that $26 because you could just, or that $13 move, it just as easily could be down here after the bell on earnings. United Airlines, prime example, yesterday after the bell went up $5. By the time the next hour passed, it was down $8 from there. So it went from a $5 up after the bell to a $5 down. Visto, this is a way oversold stock. This is a gap. It's in the gap. Looks like barely getting into the gap. I don't know anything about the company. On your weekly chart, it's way down here. This was the gap area. What you're seeing is a big red candle. It's got a long way to go. Need to draw some trend lines if you think about this stock. And looks like it's still got a lot of issues, but it is in the gap. If that's the kind of thing you like to play, this is going to be your resistance when you get up here. And it's just been, it's not putting any big days in, but it's plodding along. And Whirlpool was earnings. One of the guys threw this out in a room this morning. It's on my do not trade list because it is always very spready. But that don't have anything to do with swing trades. It has to do with day trading. Very nice. This stock yesterday had a nice gap up, my pullback. And the pullback, had it stayed above this level, would have still been in our bullzone alert. Again, you wouldn't have took a trade because you're trading into earnings. But now that earnings are over, this could be something to pay attention to. I don't know what the report was. You'd obviously need to research that. Here's your trend line on the weekly. You're not through there yet. You're right on it. That's all we got today. Thanks for watching our video. Follow us on StockTwits and Day Trader Setups also on Twitter. Check out our premium alerts. You can get these same alerts we're looking at on 475 stocks we run it on. This is 5,000 at night I'm doing. And then we have a lot of other alerts that I was working on last week about the duplications and so forth. We got all that worked out. They're working properly, and we're getting them filtered out into different categories so you can find the setup you like best, and they will find these stocks before you'll see them on here as they do a trend, what I call a trend reversal. And the system I'm running, the stocks will make that trend reversal. They'll run up. This is the first part of the plan. I had Amgen on short watch yesterday, and I picked it up off of a trend reversal on our alert. Down, see it still way up here. I'm on a weekly. I'm sorry. Here's your daily. I didn't put it on short watch because of this yesterday. I put it on because of my first indicator that tells me that I'm going into in a short zone on the stock. It sold off early in the day with the momentum of everything else. But then when it bounced this afternoon, the first level I give on these rollovers is, okay, here's the setup, this should go down. And then when they try to bounce, I got a level they come back to, and they should resist that level and go down some more, the next leg. And then they'll accelerate again, and this is for a 2 to 3 day trade. So this stock, I'll look at options on stuff. This particular stock, I didn't want to pay what it cost to buy an option. But last day trade I called today ended up being $1.80. And I'm also putting this out here for our guys on the premium alert plan. This was on your F50 alert yesterday, close of business, as a short. And I had it on the website on short watch. Had 2 stocks on short watch. This was one of them on the premium alerts homepage. So this stock would have gave you a great trade this morning, and this afternoon it went right back up to the level that I thought it should hold, and should have put out another alert probably somewhere along in here to rejoin the trend after the bounce. And I actually was looking at the chart and took this above 192 and ended up running $1.80 here on that sell-off. A really nice accelerated trade into the close. Put that in the chat room, and that was a nice $1.80 a share. That was my single biggest trade of the day for one trade, and it was because of our F50 and higher premium alerts that I was able to do that, because I had the confidence in this retracement going to fail right here. Come over and check it out. It's at premiumalerts.swingtradersetups.com, and it's got a little thing at the end of the video here. Yesterday I forgot to do the recap, so we're going to get that on here and we'll shut this video down. Thanks for watching. We're not going to spend any time on these today. I just want you to be able to pause the video and see how we've progressed on some of these trades. That's today's. For those of you new, this is today, yesterday, day before, day before, day before on the daily breaks. And this is the part that tells you how that the trend remains strong, and this is a trend stability, meaning that the highs of this candle, even the way I look at it, is still strong enough to pick this up. And so they won't start out with that line, but as they progress, they'll hold the line. The check marks tell you if they're still in the bear zone, and the bear zones do recalculate. So as the stock goes down, the new bear zone level is still being maintained by the stock, and that's showing you the strength. This little column right here This was your trigger price on ALB at 125.60. Right now it stands at a $13.20 profit off of that alert from 5 days ago now. And at its peak, at the low, it was up $13.56. And that's what each of these show you. You can pause the video and read this all you want to. I'm going to get over here and show you the bulls. Got a lot more stocks you're going to have to check out on this. That's today's, yesterday's. I'm going to have to slide this up a little more for you to see all these. This is here so you can pause the video and see every single stock. Shows you the ones still in the bull zone, not in the bull zone still, but didn't have a low enough load not to get the grade here on the green, so it's still in play. Did lose the yellow bar. You really want to keep the yellow bar. I like the yellow bars, it means you got more strength. Of course, Netflix was a bull zone break yesterday because of earnings. You see it's up another huge amount, $11 today. This wouldn't be $28 profit because of the gap. Slide this down so you can see the stocks on the very bottom of this list. Just see all these. Get this weekly back in view for you over here now. This your bull break from 5 days ago and 4 days ago. We're going to slide this down so you can see. Some of these are still progressing along with strength. This one's 858 up from the break 4 days ago, still 1099 at the highs. Chubb's up 685 from the break on it, 725 at the highs, still in the bull zone. I'll let you see the bottom of the list down here too. That's why I put this up here. If some of you guys are in a trade, you can see that, hey, my stock's still strong. Or my stock is not still in the bull zone. That just means it's not ahead of the new calculated area. It's still ahead of the break area, and it's still showing potential. As long as you can keep this yellow line, you still got opportunity above. Just tighten up your stop if you're not staying above the bull zone. ITW, another nice day today. It's at the very bottom of the list. Alrighty, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.